Advanced Techniques in Day Trading by Andrew Aziz. Intro. Hey friend, today we are going to walk through something powerful. Something that could change the way you look at trading forever. This is the deep summary of Advanced Techniques in Day Trading by Andrew Aziz. If you've ever felt lost in the fast-moving world of charts and candles. If you've ever craved a calm, focused voice in the chaos of the market. Then this is for you. Let's go chapter by chapter, like two friends sitting down with coffee. And by the end, you'll walk away not just informed, but transformed. Chapter 1, Understanding the Foundation of Active Trading. Hey, let me ask you something. Why did you come into trading? Was it for freedom, for money, for the thrill, or maybe to prove something? Andrew Aziz starts this book not with strategies, but with truth, real truth. He says before you click, buy, or sell, you need to know yourself. You need to understand what kind of trader you are. Because without a strong foundation, every move becomes noise. Every candle becomes confusion. Andrew talks about the difference between professional traders and beginners. Not by how much they earn, but by how they think. Professionals think in probabilities. They're not chasing every move. They're waiting, like a hunter in the forest. Focused, still, patient. They don't gamble. They plan. They accept losses. They protect their capital like a soldier protects his shield. He reminds us, this isn't a game, it's a profession. You have to treat it with respect, with discipline, with humility, because the market doesn't care about your dreams. It only rewards the prepared, the disciplined, the ones who can stay calm when everything is moving fast. Then Andrew gets real. He says trading is lonely. It's just you, and the screen, and your thoughts. And sometimes those thoughts lie to you. They tell you to chase, to double down, to get even. And if you don't master your inner game, you'll lose, no matter how good your strategy is. He also talks about something many ignore. Screen time. Andrew says you can't just read books and expect to be great. You have to sit, and watch again. Thousands of charts, hundreds of hours, until your eyes learn to see what others don't. Until you feel the price move. Even before it moves. That's experience. That's edge. And you can't skip it. He speaks about building habits. Morning routines. Checking news. Reviewing pre-market gappers. Writing your plan. Not jumping in blindly. Not chasing hype. Just calm, focused preparation. Because every great trader is a great planner first. And then comes a powerful lesson. Never trade to escape your emotions. If you're sad, if you are angry, if you are tired, step back. Trading should come from clarity, not from chaos, not from desperation. This one habit can save you from disaster. Again and again, Andrew gently reminds us, success in trading is not about being right. It's about managing risk when you're wrong, and letting profits run when you're right. That's it. Simple, but not easy. At the end of the chapter, he says something beautiful. Trading will test your patience, your ego, your discipline, your heart. But if you're willing to grow, it will also give you back everything you give to it. And more. And that hits deep. Because this journey is not just about the market. It's about you. And how you show up. Every single day. So friend, before you chase any pattern. Before you look for the perfect indicator. Ask yourself, am I ready to build my foundation? Because that foundation will carry you through every storm. Chapter 2, The Market Ecosystem. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine standing at the shore of a vast ocean. The waves are moving, sometimes calm, sometimes wild, but they're never still. That ocean is the stock market. And in this chapter, Andrew Aziz teaches us how to read those waves. To understand what causes them, and how to ride them instead of getting drowned by them. Andrew starts by saying something simple but powerful. You are not trading a stock. You are trading people's behavior. Let that sink in. Every candle you see, every price movement, it's not just numbers. It's fear, greed, hope, panic, millions of human emotions playing out in real time. He introduces us to the players in the market. Each one plays a different game. And once you know who's behind the move, you stop guessing. You start understanding. 1. Retail traders, people like us. These are the small fish. People trading from home, using mobile apps. Following social media tips. Most of them don't have a plan. They chase, they panic, they react. And that's why they lose. Andrew says don't be just another retail trader. Be a smart one. Be the one who waits, who watches, who understands the game. 2. Institutional traders, the giants. These are the big players. Banks, hedge funds, algo firms. They don't trade based on emotion. They move with logic, with data, with power. And when they enter a stock, you feel it, in volume, in direction, in momentum. Your job is not to fight them. It's to follow their footprints. Andrew gives a beautiful metaphor here. He says think of the stock market like a jungle. The big animals leave trails. If you learn to spot those trails, you'll know where they're going. Isn't that true? So poetic, so practical. 3. Market makers and specialists. These are the people who provide liquidity. They make sure there's always someone buying when you want to sell, and selling when you want to buy. They don't care about direction. They care about volume, about order flow. Sometimes they create fake movements to trap the weak, to confuse the impatient. That's why Andrew says always watch volume with price. Not just price alone, because volume reveals the truth. The power of volume. Volume is the heartbeat of the market. If price is moving but volume is weak, it's probably fake. If price moves with strong volume, that's a real move. That's the time to act. Andrew teaches us to use relative volume RVOL. It tells you how today's volume compares to the average. It's like seeing if the crowd is cheering louder than usual. If it is, pay attention. Something's happening. The pre-market clues. Andrew also shows us how to watch the market before it opens. This is where serious traders prepare. Not during market hours. Before. Pre-market gappers. Unusual volume. News. These give you an edge. They whisper the day's story. Before the chaos begins. The flow of a trading day. Andrew explains how the market moves in cycles. It opens fast, with emotion. That's when amateurs rush in. Then it stabilizes. That's when the smart money makes moves. Then comes lunch hour, slow, quiet. And finally, power hour when volume returns. If you understand these flows, you stop swimming blindly. You ride the current, avoiding the traps. This chapter also warns you. Don't jump into stocks just because they're moving. Ask why they're moving. Who's behind it? Is it news? Is it earnings? Or just hype? Andrew reminds us the market is full of traps. Don't be the prey. Be the observer. Be the student of patterns. Patterns of behavior. Certain stocks behave in certain ways. Tech stocks, energy stocks, low floats, high institutional ownership. Every type of stock has a personality. And once you start recognizing that, you can predict their behavior. Like recognizing a friend's mood just by looking at their face. Why this chapter matters so much? Because most people lose money not because of bad entries, but because they don't understand context. They don't know who they're trading against, or what environment they're in. This chapter gives you that missing link. It gives you vision. It gives you clarity. And as Andrew ends this chapter, he leaves us with a deep truth. The market is not random. It's reactive. And if you watch it long enough, it starts to speak to you. So friend, are you willing to listen to the subtle whispers, the hidden patterns, the language behind the numbers? Because if you are already ahead of most traders out there. Chapter 3, Trading Strategies That Work. You've come far. You've built your foundation. You've learned how the market breathes. Now, it's time to talk about how to trade. But wait, Andrew doesn't throw strategies at you like a YouTube ad. He speaks slowly, like a mentor guiding you in the dark. He says don't just look for a strategy. Look for one that fits your personality. And that, my friend, changes everything. Because trading is not about finding the best pattern. It's about finding your pattern. The one you understand deeply. The one that feels natural in your hands. Like a painter with a favorite brush. Let's break it down. Here are the strategies Andrew shares. Simple names. Powerful results. But only if you practice with discipline. 1. ABCD pattern. It starts with a sharp move up. That's A to B. Then comes the pullback. That's B to C. Then, the bounce. That's C to D. Sounds simple, right? But it's more than lines. It's emotion. The excitement of the breakout. The fear of the pullback. The hope in the bounce. Andrew teaches wait for C. That's where most traders get scared. And that's where you must get calm. Enter on the confirmation of D. With volume, with purpose, with a stop loss. 2. Bull flag pattern. You see a stock shoot up, like a rocket, then pause. It starts moving sideways, creating a flag-like shape. That's a sign that bulls are resting. Not defeated, just catching breath. When volume returns and price breaks out of the flag, that's your moment. But don't guess. Wait for the breakout. Let the market show you its hand. Then act. 3. Opening range breakout orb. This one is a favorite, especially for fast, sharp moves. You watch the first 5 minutes after market open. You mark the high, you mark the low, and then you wait. If the price breaks out of that range, with strength, with volume, that's your cue. But remember, the open is chaotic. Volume is heavy. News is fresh. So the strategy needs your full focus. Like a sniper, not a machine gun. 4. Reversal trades. Now this one requires maturity. You look for stocks that are exhausted after a long run-up or a long sell-off. When price starts forming higher lows or lower highs, you prepare. You don't jump in early. You let the pattern build. Then, when it confirms, you enter with a stop loss. Andrew reminds us reversal trading is dangerous for beginners because it tempts you to guess tops and bottoms. But if you're patient and you listen to volume and price action, it can be powerful. 5. VWAP strategies. VWAP equals volume weighted average price. It's like the fair value of the stock for the day. If price is above VWAP, bulls are strong. If price is below VWAP, bears are in control. Andrew shows how to use VWAP as support or resistance, especially when combined with patterns. VWAP is not magical, but when used with context, it gives beautiful confirmation, like a second opinion from a wise friend. 6. Break of high of day HOD. Simple. You mark the highest point of the day and wait. If price breaks it with strong volume, that's a breakout. But again, not all breakouts are real. Some are traps. So watch the candles. Is there a strong body? Is volume increasing? If yes, you found a trade worth taking. Andrew doesn't just show the patterns. He teaches the psychology behind them. Because behind every breakout is a crowd. Some are fearful, some are greedy, some are trapped. Your job is to stay neutral, to act without emotion, to follow your plan. He also reminds us, no strategy works all the time. And that's okay. Your job is not to force the trade. It's to wait for your edge. Like a tiger, still, alert, deadly when needed. Andrew gives an example of his own trades. When he followed the plan, the results were beautiful. When he forced trades, the losses came fast. And he says, you'll learn this too. The hard way, the emotional way. But eventually, you'll stop chasing and start listening. He talks about journaling your trades. Writing what you saw, what you felt, why you entered, why you excited. That's how you grow, not by winning every trade, but by learning from every experience. And finally, Andrew leaves you with a whisper of truth. One great strategy executed with discipline is better than 10 random ones taken with emotion. So slow down, find your pattern, and become its master. Chapter 4, Tape Reading and Level 2. Let's be honest, this part of trading, it intimidates most people. All those numbers, flashing colors, moving bids and asks. It feels like noise, like chaos. But Andrew Aziz says if you learn to look deeper, you'll see a hidden story, a conversation between buyers and sellers. And if you listen carefully, you'll know exactly when to act. So what is tape reading? It's also called time and sales. It shows you every trade that's happening in real time, every buyer, every seller, every price, every volume. It's the rawest form of data. No indicators, no smoothing, just the truth. Each print tells you something. Is someone buying aggressively? Is a big player selling in silence? Are the trades large? Are they small and scattered? It's like standing on the street and watching how people walk. Fast, slow, crowded, empty. That's what tape reading does. It lets you feel the market, not just see it. Then comes level 2. This is where things get even more real. Level 2 shows you the order book. It shows all the bids and asks, not just the last price. You can see who wants to buy and how badly they want it. You can see who's selling, and at what price. It's like peeking behind the curtain. You see the intentions before they become actions. Andrew explains the layout simply. Bids on the left, buyers waiting to buy. Asks on the right, sellers waiting to sell. Each line shows price, size, and market maker. More buyers lined up. You may see a support zone. More sellers stacked up. That could be resistance. But Andrew warns it's not always honest. Fake orders, the game of deception. Some big players place fake orders to trick you. They flash large size to scare you, then cancel in a second. It's called spoofing, and it works on impatient traders. That's why Andrew teaches don't believe every line. Watch what happens after the price touches those levels. Do the buyers follow through? Do the sellers disappear? That's how you separate signal from noise. So how do you use all this? Andrew gives you a system. Clear, simple, but powerful. Here's how. Watch price approach a level, a breakout, a VWAP, a pre-market high. Look at level 2. Are there large bids stacking up? Are sellers backing away? Check the tape. Are there aggressive green prints buyers? Or red ones sellers? Act only when it all aligns. Setup, volume, price action, tape. That's your green light. Andrew compares it to listening to music. You don't hear just the drums. You listen to the melody, the rhythm, the harmony. Together it becomes a song. In trading, tape plus level 2 plus chart equals music. When they sync, you feel it. That's your moment. He also gives a real-life example. A stock moving toward high of day. Level 2 shows large bids coming in. The tape shows green flashes. Momentum building. And then, boom, breakout, entry, profit. Not by guessing, but by reading the signs. Like a detective. But Andrew is honest. He says tape reading is not for beginners. It takes time. It takes patience. You'll make mistakes. You'll misread things. And that's okay. Keep watching. Keep learning. It will click one day. And when it does, you'll never trade the same again. A word of caution. Andrew says don't use tape and level 2 in isolation. Use them to confirm your setup, not to replace it. Don't get obsessed. Don't chase. Let it support your system, not override it. He ends this chapter with humility. This is an art, not a science. And like all art, it takes time to master. So be patient with yourself. And that's what this chapter is about. Patience, presence, perception. So friend, don't rush to read the tape. Don't try to be perfect. Just watch, learn, one candle at a time, one order at a time. Because soon, you won't just see the market. You'll hear it breathe. And when that happens, you'll know what true trading feels like. Chapter 5, Risk Management and Position Sizing. How to protect your heart, your capital, and your future. This chapter isn't shiny. It doesn't talk about excitement, or huge profits, or thrilling breakouts. But you know what? It's the chapter that decides whether you survive or disappear. Andrew begins with a truth most ignore. Good traders are not those who win big. They are the ones who lose small. Let that sink in. Because in the market, losing is part of the game. But how much you lose? That's your decision. That's your power. The first rule, never blow up. Andrew says every trader makes mistakes. But a blown account, that comes from ignoring risk. From revenge trading. From sizing too big. From refusing to take a stop loss. He's seen it. He's lived it. And he wants you to never walk that path. Define your risk first, not your target. Most beginners think about profit. How much can I make? That's the wrong question. Ask instead, how much am I willing to lose on this trade? Before you enter, before you dream, before you hope, define your risk. That one habit changes everything. The power of the R system. Andrew introduces a concept that can transform your trading. It's called R. 1 R equals your risk amount on a trade. If you risk $50 and you make $100, that's a 2R gain. If you lose $50, that's minus 1R. So simple, but so powerful. Because now you're not thinking in dollars. You are thinking in risk units. And that keeps your emotions in check. How much should you risk? Andrew says a good rule is, risk 1% or less of your total account on any trade. Not more, not even if the setup looks perfect. Because no setup is guaranteed. Ever. Risking small keeps you alive. It gives you 100 chances to be wrong. instead of blowing up in 3. That's real freedom. Position sizing, the quiet hero. This part is so often ignored. But it's everything. How many shares should you buy? Andrew gives you the formula. Position size equals risk amount, stop loss in dollar per share. So simple, so clear. If your stop loss is 25 cents and you want to risk $50, buy 200 shares, not 500, not 1000, just what fits your plan. Because overtrading is poison, and proper sizing, that's your antidote. Always use a stop loss. Andrew says this is non-negotiable. A trade without a stop is not a trade, it's a gamble, and the market will punish it. Sometimes slowly, sometimes all at once. So place that stop, stick to it, don't move it, not out of fear, not out of greed, just trust your plan. Don't average down. You'll feel the temptation. When price goes against you, you'll think it'll come back. You'll want to add more, to bring your average lower. But that's a trap, a deadly one. Andrew begs you, don't do it. It's not smart, it's not brave, it's just emotional. And emotion is your enemy in trading. Daily loss limit, your lifeline. Set a maximum daily loss. Maybe 3 hour, maybe 5 hour, whatever it is. Once you hit it, stop. Walk away, shut the screen, breathe. Because when you are losing, you're not thinking clearly. And trying to make it back. That's how traders destroy themselves. Andrew says protect your mental capital too. Because no amount of technical skill can save a mind that's drowning. Winning streaks can be dangerous too. Sounds strange, right? But it's true. When you win too many trades in a row, you start to feel invincible. You take bigger risks. You break your rules. And that's when the fall happens. Hard, fast, painful. Andrew says stay humble. Especially in victory. Keep your sizing the same. Follow your process. Because the goal is not just to win today. It's to win for years. A story that hurts but teaches. Andrew shares how, early in his career, he had a huge winning streak. Then one day, he broke every rule. He overtraded. He doubled down. He refused to stop. And in hours, he lost what took months to build. He says that day broke me. But it also made me the trader I am today. Risk management is self-respect. This chapter isn't just about money. It's about you. How much do you respect yourself? Enough to walk away when it's not working. Enough to stick to your plan even when tempted. Enough to say, I don't need to trade today. I need to protect my future. That's real strength. That's real growth. And Andrew ends with this quiet, powerful truth. You can't control the market. But you can always control your risk. So friend, don't chase more trades. Chase more discipline. Because that's the edge no one can take from you. That was Chapter 5, Heavy, Healing, Life-Saving. Chapter 6, Trading Psychology and Emotional Control. Trading is not just about charts, patterns, or strategies. It's about your mind, your emotions, your discipline, your ability to stay calm when the market is not. And that's what this chapter is all about. Psychology and emotional control. Let's sit down and talk about this like friends. Because this part can make or break a trader. Even if you have the best strategy in the world, if you can't control your emotions, you will lose. Again and again, Andrew Aziz starts by telling us a simple truth. Most traders don't fail because of bad strategies. They fail because of bad decisions. Emotional decisions. They panic. They hesitate. They get greedy. They get scared. They take revenge trades. They overtrade. And slowly, they blow up their accounts. You know, trading is one of the rare professions where your biggest enemy is not outside. It's inside you. Your fear, your anger, your ego. That voice that says, double down, you'll recover. That urge that says, one more trade. That whisper that says, don't miss out. It's seductive and dangerous. So, what's the solution? How do we win this inner war? Andrew says self-awareness is step 1. Know your emotions. Don't fight them. Observe them. Write them down. Name them. Because when you name your emotions, you take away their power. Here's a powerful tool Andrew talks about. The Trader's Journal. It's not just about tracking trades. It's about tracking your feelings. What were you thinking before you entered? Were you calm? Were you nervous? Did you follow your plan? Did you size too big? Did you take revenge? This journal becomes your mirror. And mirrors don't lie. Andrew also talks about mindfulness. Simple breathing exercises. Being present. Pausing before a trade. Checking your pulse. Because if your heart is racing, that's a warning sign. A fast heart usually leads to a fast loss. So breathe. Reset. Trade with intention, not impulse. And what about losses? They hurt. They always do. But here's the thing. A professional accepts them, learns from them, moves on. But an emotional trader, he fights them, chases them, doubles down, and digs a deeper hole. Andrew reminds us, you are not your last trade. You are not your P&L. You are not your losses. You are a trader, and a trader's job is to stay focused, clear, neutral. He talks about building routines. Start your day the same way. End your trading day the same way. Keep your environment calm, your desk clean, your screens organized, your mindset sharp, because discipline in your space creates discipline in your mind. There's also a warning. Avoid trading when you are emotional. After a fight, after bad news, after a huge win, or after a big loss. Because emotions blur your vision. They whisper lies, and you'll believe them. Andrew also teaches us about recovery. If you feel out of control, step away, walk, meditate, talk to someone. Don't punish yourself. You're human. Even the best traders feel shaken sometimes. But they know how to reset. Let's not forget one more thing he says. Be kind to yourself. Trading is hard. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about progress. Little by little, day by day. So my friend, this chapter is not about charts. It's about your character. It's about learning to master the only thing you can truly control. You, your thoughts, your habits, your reactions. And when you do that, you'll trade with power, with peace, and with purpose. Chapter 7, Creating a Personal Trading Plan. This chapter is like the heart of your trading journey. It's not about strategies anymore. It's about building a system that reflects you. Every great trader has one thing in common, a plan. Not just a rough idea. A clear, written personal trading plan. Because the market, it's chaos. But your plan, it's your calm in the storm. Let's break this down together. Why a personal trading plan matters. Most traders lose money, not because their strategy fails, but because they don't follow a consistent, well-defined plan. A plan gives you structure. It keeps your emotions in check. It reminds you of your rules when greed and fear try to take over. Without a plan, you are just gambling. With a plan, you are a professional. The core elements of a trading plan. Andrew lays out some non-negotiables. Essentials every serious trader must define. Let's go one by one. 1. Trading goals. Why are you trading? To quit your job, to build passive income, to challenge yourself. Write it down. Be honest, be specific, and make sure your daily actions align with this big goal. 2. Market and instruments. Pick your battlefield. Will you trade large caps like Apple and Tesla? Or stick to low-float momentum stocks? Maybe ETFs or futures. Define it. Specialization builds mastery. Don't chase everything. 3. Trading time frame. Are you a scalper, an intraday swing trader, someone who watches the market all day, or just the first 2 hours? Choose your time frame. It shapes everything. Your strategy, your risk, your tools. 4. Setup criteria. This is your edge, your bread and butter, your setup. Whether it's an opening range breakout, ABC pattern, or reversal with volume confirmation. Write down the exact criteria, like a checklist, so that when you see it in real time, there's no hesitation. 5. Entry rules. What triggers your entry? Is it a break of pre-market high with volume? Is it a 5-minute candle confirmation? Be specific, no guessing, no emotions, just clear signals. 6. Exit rules. Exits are just as important. Maybe more. Define your profit target and stop loss in advance. Maybe it's a fixed R ratio like 2:1. Maybe it's a trailing stop. Know when to get out both for profit and protection. 7. Risk management. This is what saves your account. Always define how much you're willing to lose per trade per day and even per week. Andrew suggests risking no more than 2% of your account per trade. Small losses are okay. Big losses are disasters. 8. Daily routine and review. Trading doesn't start at the opening bell. Build a pre-market routine. Scanning, journaling, setting alerts. And after the close, review your trades. What worked? What didn't? What can be improved? Growth comes from reflection. The psychology behind the plan. Andrew says something powerful. Your plan is only as strong as your discipline to follow it. And that's real. Having a plan is easy. Sticking to it, that's the hard part. That's where emotional control, mindset, and journaling come in. Adapting over time. Your trading plan isn't carved in stone. As you grow, learn, and evolve, your plan should too. Maybe you find a new edge. Maybe you stop trading a setup that's no longer working. Keep refining, keep learning, keep adjusting, but always with structure, always with intent. Final thoughts from Chapter 7. This chapter is about ownership. About taking full responsibility for your actions in the market. It's about no longer depending on luck, or chat rooms, or signals. You become the CEO of your own trading business. You decide the rules, and you live by them. Because when you trade without a plan, the market controls you. But when you trade with a plan, you take your power back. Chapter 8, Tools of the Trade. Let's talk about tools, my friend. Not just any tools, but the tools that can make or break a trader. Imagine going into battle without a sword, or trying to paint a masterpiece without a brush. That's what trading is like without the right setup. In this chapter, Andrew Aziz guides us through the heart of every trader's workstation. Let's take it slow. Let's take it deep. Let's make it personal. Your trading platform. First things first, you need a platform. This is your control center, your cockpit, your playground. Think of platforms like DAS Trader Pro, Thinkorswim, or Interactive Brokers. These aren't just software. They are your window to the market. They give you real-time data, level 2 quotes, hotkey execution, charting tools, and speed. Speed, my friend, is not a luxury here. It's survival. Charts, your storytellers. A chart isn't just a graph. It's a conversation. It tells you what the market feels, what it's afraid of, what it hopes for. Candlesticks show price action. Trend lines whisper the direction. Volume bars scream conviction. You must read them like poetry. Not just numbers, but emotion. Level 2 in time and sales. Now this is the real heartbeat. Level 2 data shows you who's placing orders, at what price, and how fast. Time and sales tells you what just got filled. This is not for beginners. It's raw, it's fast, but once you learn to feel its rhythm, you become one with the pulse of the market. Hotkeys, your reflex system. Think about this. In a game, the fastest player often wins. Same in trading. Hotkeys save you time. One key, and you buy. Another, you sell. You don't hesitate. You react. Because when your setup appears, you have seconds, not minutes. Scanners, your treasure maps. How do you find the stocks worth trading? That's where scanners help. They scan thousands of tickers and pull out the ones that are moving. High volume, big gaps, unusual activity. These are the gems, the ones that offer opportunity. Scanners keep your eyes sharp and your focus tighter. Journal, your mirror. This is the most underrated tool. Your trading journal. Why? Because it shows you the truth. Not just the wins, but the mistakes, the patterns in your behavior, the emotional loops. Journaling helps you grow. It helps you learn from yourself. Day by day, trade by trade. The internet, your lifeline. Use online communities wisely. Chat rooms, forums, social media, news alerts. They give you information. But beware, they can also give you noise. Follow the signal, not the hype. Trust your analysis, but never isolate yourself. The market is always talking. You just need to listen to the right voices. Hardware setup. Don't ignore this. Fast computer, multiple monitors, reliable internet, backup power. It may sound boring, but when you trade as live, you don't want a crash, or a lag, or worse, a disconnect. Professional traders treat this like gold, because every second counts. Final thought for this chapter. You see, tools don't make a trader, but the right trader with the right tools becomes unstoppable. Equip yourself wisely. Use your tools with mastery. Respect their power, and they'll reward you, silently, efficiently, every single day. Because in the world of day trading, preparation isn't everything. It's the only thing. Chapter 9, Real Trade Examples and Lessons. My friend, this chapter is where theory meets reality, where charts turn into emotions, and where money meets mindset. Andrew Aziz opens up his real trading journal. Not the perfect trades, but the honest ones. Wins and losses, greed and fear, hope and discipline. He walks us through actual trades from the moment he spotted the setup to the exact second he hit buy. And even more importantly, to the moment he made the hard decision to exit, sometimes in profit, sometimes in loss. Let's walk through one of them. It's 9:35 a.m. The market just opened. Andrew is watching a stock gapping up on good news. Volume is strong. Price is forming a tight range. He notices a bullish ABCD pattern forming. The entry is above the breakout point. He takes the trade. The stock moves in his favor. He sells half at the first target. Then the other half trails with a stop. It gets hit. Small win. Simple, yes. But only because of his plan. No emotions. No guessing. Just strategy. Now let's see another one. This one hurts. He enters a momentum play too early. The price fakes out. He hesitates to exit. He hopes it'll bounce back. It doesn't. It drops hard. Loss. Now comes the lesson. He says hope is not a strategy. 1 second of hesitation can cost everything. Discipline matters. The plan matters. And ego. It must stay out. In another example, he misses a good setup. He chases it late. Stock pulls back. He gets stopped out. Then the stock flies in his original direction. He watches it with regret. That day, he writes in his journal, "Missing the entry was my fault. Chasing was emotional. I didn't trust my system." That's real talk. That's what traders go through every single day. This chapter is filled with dozens of such examples. Not just to show what worked, but to teach what didn't. Because we learn more from pain than from profit. Andrew reminds us, every trade has a story. Every story has a lesson. And every lesson brings us closer to mastery. He urges us to keep a trading journal. Write down your trades, your thoughts, your emotions, your reasons, your mistakes. This is how you evolve. Not by reading 100 books, but by learning from 100 trades. Your trades, your experiences. Because in the end, trading is not about being right. It's about being real, honest, consistent, and willing to grow. Every win makes you richer. But every loss, it makes you wiser. And wisdom, my friend. That's the real profit. Chapter 10, The Path of Mastery. Friend, this is the final chapter. But it's not the end. It's the beginning. The beginning of a lifelong journey. A journey not just in trading, but within yourself. Andrew Aziz doesn't end with strategy. He ends with soul. Because mastery in trading is mastery in patience, in self-awareness, in discipline, in pain, and in power. He says most people give up. They want results fast. They want money now. But trading is not a shortcut. It's a craft, like painting, like music, like martial arts. You practice every day. You fail. You learn. You bleed. You rise. Then one day, without knowing, you become a master, but not of the market, of yourself. This chapter is about building that mindset. The mindset that endures. The mindset that survives the storm and thrives through it. He talks about the 3 pillars of mastery. Let me share them with you. 1. Daily routine. Success is hidden in your routine. Wake up early. Read the news. Review your journal. Visualize your trades. Treat this like a business. Because it is. You are the CEO of your own future. Your discipline builds your destiny. 2. Never stop learning. Markets change. Setups change. Technology changes. But the learner, he always stays in the game. Read books. Watch others. Take notes. Review mistakes. The moment you think you know it all, that's the moment the market humbles you. Stay a student forever. 3. Emotional mastery. This is the toughest and the most important. Fear will visit you. So will greed. Ego will whisper lies. Regret will shout. But you must stay still, calm, present. Because your real opponent is not the market. It's the voice inside. The one that says, double down, hold, it'll bounce. Just one more trade. Silence that voice. Listen to your plan. And trust your process. Andrew reminds us, money is the byproduct. Character is the goal. Real mastery comes when you don't need to trade, but choose to. When you don't chase the trade, but wait for it. When your identity is not tied to winning, but to showing up with focus, with heart, with integrity. That's mastery. And that's rare. But it's possible. For you. Yes, you. If you walk the path. One trade at a time. One lesson at a time. One day at a time. And even when no one's watching. You keep showing up. Because you know. Greatness is not in the result. It's in the effort. That's the path of mastery. It's long. It's hard. But it's worth it. So, are you ready to stop being a gambler and become an artist? To stop chasing profits and start building legacy? Then start now. With your breath. With your journal. With your next trade. Because mastery, my friend, is already inside you. All you have to do is become it. Outro. A message from one trader to another. So here we are, at the end of the book. But not at the end of your journey. In fact, this is just the beginning. You've walked through charts and candlesticks. You've learned patterns and strategies. You've faced psychology, fear, greed, doubt. And you've also seen what's possible. The calm, the clarity, the quiet confidence of a trader in control. This path is not easy. And Andrew never pretended it was. But it's real. And it's yours if you truly want it. Trading is not about being right. It's about being honest. With yourself. With the market. With your process. It's not about quick wins. It's about long-term growth. It's not about chasing noise. It's about trusting your edge. Trusting your routine. Trusting your discipline. Andrew Aziz didn't become successful overnight. He failed. He lost. He cried. He journaled. He studied. He came back. Again. And again. And again. Until trading became a part of him. Not a job. Not a game. But a calling. And now, he's passed that torch to you. Through these chapters. Through these lessons. Through these stories. You have the tools now. You have the roadmap. But the journey, that's yours to walk. One trade at a time. One habit at a time. One breath at a time. And if ever you feel lost, just remember why you started. Remember the fire that brought you here. The hunger to be free. To live on your own terms. To master yourself, not just the market. That fire, keep it alive. Protect it. Feed it. Because that's the flame of a true trader. And it will guide you. Even through the darkest drawdowns. Even through the loneliest mornings. Even when no one believes in you. You must believe. This is your path now. Own it, honor it, and never ever stop learning. Thank you for being here, my friend. May your trades be focused. May your losses teach you. May your wins humble you. And may you always trade with heart. Not just with eyes, but with soul.